Hello, once again, folks. We're back in here. Josh, along with Boz, holding it down for another edition of Boxing Chit. And we had a pretty good weekend of exciting action. How's it going with your Boz?
It's going very well. I mean, yeah, I started working out and I feel better simply, and yeah,
Hey, that's good to go. Yeah, getting that consistency there. I'm there with you
yeah,
myself. I was able to do a few boxing shows this weekend that
mm,
helped to get me
nice,
working the juices, get the blood flowing and all that stuff. I just had to
yeah,
keep it up from here. So
yeah. I would
that's
like
been
to also find a gym where I can just hit the sack a little bit and stuff. That would
it.
be cool.
Yeah, that's a good method right there. Go in, dig in there, and work some cardio. I guess in some sense, and work in different areas of the body, muscles. So
Yeah,
good luck with that right there. So yeah, happy to
thanks.
be here once again. Happy Indigenous Peoples Day here in the U.S. at least. So salute to everyone out there. We are back for more boxing talk. Of course, you see there in the middle of the screen Zencaster, or you can listen to the podcast in itself on Zencaster in the aftermath and check out Zencaster's Creator Network. If you're getting into podcasting yourself, or you want to dive into just a form of recording, whether that's audiobooks, etc., they have a great feature that allows you to do auto editing, and it's over on Zencaster. So I have a link in the actual description if you want to go over there and check it out. You can get a discount, but it is worthwhile. So that's how we do it. Zencaster, baby. But let's jump into it. So again, we were talking boxing action. So we're glad to have you here with us on a Monday edition of Boxing Chit. So the big fights for the weekend, of course, we'll start with one which was taking place across the pond. Leigh Wood was putting his featherweight title on the line against Josh Warrington, who was a former featherweight champion himself. Now, this was for the WBA World Featherweight title that Wood held, and he had picked up such with his defeat of one Mauricio Lara in his last contest, and it was
Yeah,
a thorough defeat at that. He handled him fairly easily, I
it
guess you
was
can
a
say.
schooling. Yeah, definitely.
Schooling, and we know Mauricio Lara can pop. But Warrington Wood, this was one that went about 7 rounds before the unthinkable happened. But I guess you
Mm,
can say it's thinkable in the sport of boxing. But we saw
yeah,
a TKO victory for Leigh Wood after practically losing all rounds prior to such there.
yeah.
And it was
I
an
mean,
intense fight with a lot of good fanfare involved as well. The atmosphere was rampant. So, what did you think of the overall contest there, Boz?
yeah, that was just amazing the way it ended. I mean, it was clearly going. It looked to be going in the direction of a Warrington upset because he was the challenger. So and yeah, I was like, wow,
Mhm.
holy shit, when that knockout happened. Because until then, for Warrington, it went almost too easily for Warrington. I mean, I thought Wood probably won the first 2 rounds. Yeah, the first one was a little bit close. It could have been an even round. Also, I saw that Carl Froch scored an even round, and he scored. I must say, he's a much better scorer than Tony Bellew for sure. Tony
Gotcha.
Bellew is just he's not always well. Anyway, and Uh, yeah, I mean, after the second round, Warrington just started really dominating. He set his own pace, and yeah, Wood just didn't have much of an answer. And until the end of the seventh round, he just suddenly connected with that big perfect punch. Bam! It was a right hook, I believe. Yeah, and then
Yeah.
a few more, and that was it. Like it sounds so. I mean, just like when Wood lost to Lara, it was all
Hmm.
very sudden, and on such a turn because the other guy was winning, was really dominating. Warrington also was really dominating, no doubt.
Hmm.
He had also Wood cut up a little bit here, and
Yeah.
then suddenly just bam, 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 and it's all over. I mean, Wood has retained his title again. I mean, but it shows just that Wood is, he's a really fighter who never gives up, and he's a sharp puncher. also who really can nail you, bam.
Oh yeah.
And he's got a lot of heart and dedication. But he's also a big featherweight. So I've heard stories that, I mean,
Oh
I've
yeah.
heard news that this might have been his last fight at 126 actually.
Indeed.
And yeah, so I was also wondering how the hell does this guy make that way? I mean, look at the size of his, his body, everything. He's like 5'7", 5'8", also. So that's a natural, more like a lightweight to light
Hmm.
welterweight size. So yeah, but anyway, just an amazing come from behind knockout, and hats off to Leigh Wood for that.
Leigh Wood, WBA World Featherweight Champion. Real quick, shout out and salute to Flack Boxing, who dropped in to show some love. Appreciate you there. Flack said he didn't get to see the fights. Curious to see your guys' views on the front, on the fights themselves. So, yeah, no doubt about it. Flack, appreciate you. Be sure to check out Flack too, folks. Flack Boxing is, as it's spelled there, FLAK Boxing. He has some content on this channel as well that I think you'll be interested in, especially if you're in the history of the sport. Salute to Bruce Gas, Boxing, Jazz, and more. Says, hey guys, greetings to you there, Bruce. Appreciate you dropping in, of course. As always, good to have Bruce in. Be sure to check out Bruce, folks. Bruce Gas, Boxing, Jazz, and more. A lot of great content over on his channel as well. Happy to see you cross that 1,000 threshold there, Bruce. Up and up from here. So good stuff there. Salute for sure. So yeah, Leigh Wood versus Josh Warrington. That's what we started out with, and as you put it there, Boz, it was a pretty thrilling fight, and it did come out of nowhere as far as the end. And that combination landed flush on the chin, and it had Warrington down. And Warrington was the aggressor at that particular point, so I guess he could say he got a little too aggressive in that moment, and then
Yeah, he did.
he was
he
up out
got
of there.
ahead. He got ahead of himself, definitely a little
He
bit. Yeah.
did. He
So
did
that
for
can
sure.
easily happen when you do that. When you aren't really pacing yourself very much.
Yep. Yep,
Yeah.
and he paid for it dearly there. Leigh Wood, he is. I did hear that he mentioned that he was going up to 130 pounds from here. So this was, in all likelihood, his last fight at
Yeah.
126. And I heard in the commentary they mentioned that he looked, I guess, a bit drained at the weigh-in, something of that tune. That's what they're alluding to. He didn't look too well at the
Yeah.
weigh-in. Uh,
Yeah. That's probably why he struggled like he did. And like of course
mhm.
early on in the fight you don't feel it, but later on after a couple of rounds it starts to affect you. Yeah, probably a little bit more. So that's why. So that's why he lost so many rounds. I bet.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, that could explain. Got off to a slower start, and
Mm,
he pulled the rabbit out of the hat, I guess you can say. This
yeah.
this does open up things. If he ends up moving to 126, which or 130, which is all indications, then
Mm,
that's going to open up things there. The WBA title will be free. It'll be interesting to see who fights for it. You have some guys who are still out there
yeah.
who may make a major play. You have Brendan Figueroa, excuse me, Mark Magnifico Magsayo. He's out there. I
Oh
know
yeah.
Ray Vargas, who was at 130, he's moved back down to 126. He has a title there. So Ray Vargas could be in the mix again. So there's still some fights that could be made there. And of
Mm,
course, at 130 pounds, you have Leigh Wood moving up, who would throw his name right there in the hat. One name I had threw out
yeah.
there was certainly Emmanuel Navarrete, though that one might not necessarily happen here
Yeah. Right.
soon. He's out there. I believe this is
Yeah.
also where Joe Cordina
Hector.
is as well.
Yeah. Oh yeah. That's right.
Joe
Yeah,
Cordina.
and I think in that fight, that's probably the most likely one to happen in future for Wood. But
Yeah.
I think that fight I would favor Cordina to win because of what he
Yes.
showed so far, and especially in his last two fights. Let's say he was very impressive and in two
Yeah.
very different ways. First one, he blew the guy
Yeah.
out with one punch. The second one, he really boxed a clinic, to win
Yeah.
against an unbeaten and dangerous opponent. And yeah, so
Yeah. That was a hell of a knockout, as you mentioned there, when Cordina knocked out Kenichi Igawa.
Igawa. Yeah,
Yeah, that
Igawa.
was if you haven't seen that one, folks, that is one to watch right there. It's one
Yeah,
that's gonna be in the replay books. Came out of, I mean, he set it up so perfectly. So it did come out of
yeah.
nowhere, but he set it up in a way that Igawa was not ready for it at all and landed
And
flush. That's the
that
way you
is
do it.
really a testament to just how skilled he is, and
Yes,
because
yes,
he didn't strike me before that as a guy who really does that usually, like knocks
yeah,
people out in one punch. But there he just happened to set it up perfectly, as you said, and yeah,
yeah.
executed it perfectly.
Yep,
Mm.
yep, and he's very skilled, decorated amateur, so he has all of that in the background as well. So him
Yeah.
versus Leigh Wood, I think it would be fairly exciting. But like you, I would favor Cordina in that contest because I
Mm.
think that ceiling wise, Cordina is a bit better. Probably has a few more strides to go as far as
Yeah.
Leigh Wood. I think he's at his peak right now. At least he's performing at his peak. He's been around for a little bit. He's 35 years of age, but he's
Yeah,
fighting
he
some of the
is.
best fighting he's fought right here in this particular time. And he showed you that, man, he just has a relentlessness that you don't see it often in some of these guys because he's gotten up from some things that you would think other
Yeah.
guys might not have gotten up from, especially thinking about that
Yeah.
Mick Conlon fight when he got
Conan,
dropped there. That's one that always comes to mind because he looked like he was all but out of there.
yeah. That was really, really amazing. And then, of course, in the very next round, he was also jumped by Conan, who looked like he might end it there, but it didn't
Yeah.
happen. So that was amazing. Yeah, very
Oh yeah.
impressive.
Yeah, very impressive. So yeah, let's look forward to that. Maybe Leigh Wood, Joe Cordina, and I think it'll do major numbers there in the UK because hey,
Oh
they
yeah.
always show up and show out. And the crowd there last night, as I mentioned, they were in full force there because Warrington he has a great contingent that when he fights in Leeds, they would come out
Yeah.
and all that stuff. So he has a good deal of supporters, and
Yeah.
Leigh Wood doing the same thing.
This was in Sheffield, which is in the
Oh
same
yeah,
kind of part of England as Leeds, like
yeah.
Yorkshire, the north, and yeah.
Yeah. So that
Well,
fanfare, man, they're out there. You got to give it to the British fans. They show up in full
yeah.
force.
Oh yeah. Oh, yeah. Really, totally. Yeah.
Definitely. Salute to Time for the Kickback who's dropped in. Salute to you there. Time for the Kickback says, what do
Well,
you guys rank Tiger Flowers? Top
this is
10,
not.
top 20?
Yeah, this is not that kind of stream. I mean, podcast right now. Where we talk about the past and talking about the
but
present.
we got to show some love to the
Well, you can answer. I don't know really
I don't
very well. I would
That's a
rank.
tough one right there. Time for the kickback here to make it off top at least. Not sure, but he rates highly. If you're
Yeah,
talking middleweight, yeah, he's gonna rate up there. Certainly, you could probably throw him
yeah,
in the mix there, probably in the top 10 category, top 10, 15. If you're talking all time, as far as pound for pound fighters in general, yeah, I have to think about that a bit. He is one of the better fighters overall
yeah.
from a pound for pound standpoint. But yeah, I don't know about top 10. Not sure about top 20 either. But something worth pondering on there. Appreciate you dropping in. Time for the kickback. Skywalker Boxing. Salute to you, Skywalker, who drops in. Be sure to check out Skywalker Boxing, folks. Doing some great things over there on his channel as well. This is Skywalker Boxio right there. So check out Skywalker Boxing and check out Skywalker Boxio. Says salute Josh Boz in the chat. We're listening. Appreciate you there, Skywalker. As always, definitely appreciate you dropping in. But be sure to check him out. Give him a subscribe, folks, because he's got some good content, that you'll want to see live and indirect. So appreciate you there. Time for the kickback says his Wi-Fi is bad. It's all good. Time for the kickback. They're more credible than some TV boxing analysts, especially Stephen A. Smith. He don't know nothing. Had the nerve to get rid of Max Kellerman. I agree.
Stephen A. Smith, the Floyd Mayweather mouthpiece, as what Baron called him.
Yeah. Hey, appreciate it that time for the kickback. Yeah, Stephen A. doesn't know what he's talking about when it comes to this boxing thing. He just be talking some junk.
He can't know. I mean, he can't know equally. I mean, equally much about all sports, right? It's impossible really to
Yeah.
be an equal expert in both basketball, American football, boxing, and
Right.
all that. Yeah.
Yeah,
So
yeah. Hey, at the end of the day, we share our opinions here.
and Skip Bayless isn't much better. I mean, he thought that Pacquiao won the Mayweather fight. Come on,
Oh yeah,
man.
I remember
Seriously.
that. Skip was sticking to it. Like, no,
Yeah,
that is
Pacquiao
not
won
the
that
case.
fight.
That is not
Really?
the case
How to win a fight? You gotta land punches, Mister.
there. Who's going
Doesn't
in
matter.
on Mayweather? That's
Yeah,
funny. The dang Skip. But so also I just wanted to mention it looks like Terry Harper and Cecilia
yeah,
Breakers fought to a majority draw, which is something I did not
yeah.
expect
It
right there.
was. I did see. I only caught half of the fight, so unfortunately can't say how fair it is. But what I did see, I think I maybe only give one round of those five to Cecilia. So, and Eddie Hearn thought that he was really incensed at the decision because it was for the unified world championship.
Yeah.
So they kind of he thinks they robbed Harper of that achievement. Yeah,
Yeah, this is pretty crazy. Yeah, I wasn't expected. I saw Harper in training, and she looked to be in top form, and I expected her to defeat Cecilia Breakers. So yeah, that is
yeah,
pretty surprising.
she did probably. I mean, I cannot say because I haven't watched the whole fight, but Cecilia also kind of tired in the last couple rounds. Yeah, definitely. I
Yeah,
mean, that's no wonder she's 42. Yeah,
yeah, right. And she was coming off a layoff, I believe. She was just coming off of a layoff, seemingly retirement, and made her way back. And
yeah.
hey, this is going to warrant, I guess, potentially a rematch, or maybe they move on. But I need to go back and watch that one. Certainly surprised with the
I,
verdict.
yeah, yeah. It's just too much really terrible judging in these last few years, and it goes for USA, UK, many others countries. I guess. I mean, in all countries today, you get crappy scores. Yeah,
Yeah, yeah, you're right. It's one of those things where certainly you you have to be leery of the judging. Certainly, it's better when you leave it out of their hands in some cases, especially when you're in situations where you're in a fighter's territory. In this case, of course, this went down over in the UK. So
Hmm.
this was, I guess, technically Terry's backyard, and Cecilia, she's coming back, trying to make some waves, but she hung in there, I guess. So she's
Yeah,
able to pull off at least a draw, which I guess not too bad considering that she jumped straight into a title fight. And
hmm.
interesting moving forward. But yeah, the judging certainly has to get better. We need more people involved.
Yeah.
But you have to become a judge there. You need to sign up and become a judge.
They wouldn't let me be the judge, I'm sure. Yeah, I mean there's so much also corruption and some people are judging like when they are way past the age when they should be retired, like 78 or something, still judging. What the hell is that all about? Come
Hey,
on.
I guess
You can't
long the
let a
eyesight is good.
78-year-old guy who can barely see like judge a
Yeah,
fight,
if the eyesight is good, I think they're good.
Yeah, I mean,
Now,
it's kind of hard to judge a fight anyway, even if you are 20 something, I mean, these guys, they get, I mean, you see, I mean, they get entangled, and sometimes you don't see who landed which punch or which punch missed. And so it is kind of hard job.
oh yeah, oh
So,
yeah, yeah,
so
yeah.
that's why that it should be given only to those who really can see well for one thing, and
Hmm.
yeah, people who have no kind of reason to like prioritize one of the fighters, that fight, like be biased.
Yeah, yeah. No, no. Hey, all things you have to think about there for sure. That is most
Yeah,
certainly something that you have to take into account. Real quick, I just want to mention time for the kickback says he whooped Harry Greb. I don't know about whoop their time for the kickback. Got to go check those out. Got to read those accounts. They're a bit closer than you may think. Their time for the kickback.
What's this guy called? Blake Oliver? Where are you now?
Blake, salute to Blake. Blake had left a comment.
Yeah.
I thought Blake was going to be dropping
lawyer. Harry Greb lawyer.
But Greb, he was in there with Tiger Flyers. Their time for the kickback. Tiger didn't whoop him. He didn't whoop him.
Yeah, that didn't sound right to me. I mean, kind of who whooped Harry Greb? Really?
Right. No, salute to my mom there. Dropped in. Hello, son of Boz. Happy Monday. Make it do what it do.
Hello.
Appreciate you being here, of course. Appreciate you being here, as always. Showing us some love. Yeah, it's always needed. A little love is always needed. But yeah, we're talking the big fights for this past weekend. Salute to everyone who's in right now. Everyone who's dropped by. Those will be listening on the replay. We were just talking Warrington Wood, a little bit of Terry Harper, Cecilia Brækhus, a 154-pound title matchup there. Also of note, at least on the cards, that Kieran Conway picked up a victory along with Hopi Price. Hopi Price is a tall and long featherweight who they expect big things from moving forward. So Hopi Price got a victory.
That guy, Melikuziev.
Oh, yes.
He beat Alante Fox in 4 rounds.
Yes, that's where we're headed to next right there. Is another DAZN card because the other one was DAZN as well. So this was DAZN over here in the United States in Las Vegas. Over here in the United States in Las Vegas.
I think so too. No, he would get furious. He'd be all fuming, foaming at the mouth.
That is funny. Yeah, right. Yeah, it would have a heart attack because that's a funny one there. Funny. Yeah. Hey, we got funny stuff going down on the channel. But yeah, good to go. Yeah, so at the Cosmopolitan in Las Vegas, we had a card that was headlined by Zurdo Ramirez versus Joe Smith Jr. at cruiserweight, but it was at a catchweight at cruiserweight, 193 pounds. Though realistically, both guys, they walk around at probably over 200 pounds, so it could have been done at 200 pounds, as they mentioned on the broadcast. But nonetheless, 193-pound catchweight, cruiserweight fight. And then we'll start with the co-main event that you brought up there, because the co-feature was Bektemir Makuli. What is his name? Melikuziev, aka Beck the Bully. So that's one you can't forget right there. Beck the Bully taking on Alantez Slyaza Fox, who is out of this area, as a matter of fact. Salute to Alantez out there. Brother of Mike Fox, who you probably know as well. Good guy there. So they were fighting at 168, or was it 160? 168.
168.
Yeah, 168. 168 pounds. So, man, Beck the Bully, if you know him, you know he's a guy that comes out and he has that offensive power, pop, speed. Is a bit more speedier than I actually thought, because he was faster than Alantez on this night as well. But he came in there and he really bullied. Apparently in the broadcast, they were saying he wanted to get this fight over by the 4th round. And hey, just so happens that's when it ended, in the 4th round. So it was exciting for as long as it lasted. What were your general thoughts on Beck the Bully there at 168?
Yeah, I mean, I saw his first fight against Rosado before this, and he was really dominating. I mean, Rosado, and there, just throwing, and like there was no tomorrow. And I like that, I don't like people who wait too much, or they are too cautious. And he goes out there, like Aaron Pryor or somebody, like James Kirkland, when he was like.
Kirkland, he was one of those aggressive type guys like that. And
just right away from the first bell, just starts. That I was really like, wow, really, this is great. But,
and I just want to say, for those that don't know, Beck the Bully, he has one loss on his record to Gabe Rosado, actually, and that was in a fight that he was dominating. Looked like he was about to stop Rosado, and he got caught. It was a right hook that Woo,
Yeah.
it was a nasty one. Certainly a nasty one there. So
Yeah.
you can go ahead
Yeah.
there,
It
Bob.
was. When was that? That was like 2018 or 19.
No, I think it was last year. I think it was
Or
last year actually.
last year,
Yeah,
really.
yeah. I think it was
Maybe.
last
Yeah.
year
That's because he's
or
got
the year
one
before.
loss. Yeah.
Yeah,
Right. I think he
one of the
was
two. I
like
think it was
something
last year
like
though.
14-0 or something back
Yeah,
then.
yeah,
Yeah. Yeah. That was Rosado's last hurrah.
yeah. He's
Yeah.
done now.
Yeah, definitely. He's retired. That's just good, I think.
Yeah,
We had enough of people who fight till they are 45 or something.
certainly. It's
Yeah.
one of those things for sure. But
But yeah, now I think Melik Kuziev is gonna be interesting to see how he goes now. I mean, how it goes with him because he's in a pretty stacked division, and
yeah,
you know, yeah, with some big heavy punchers as well. So I
yeah,
don't.
he is. You know, they. I heard names coming up like David Morrell, which would be very
Yeah,
interesting right there.
yeah, a
Very
great
interesting.
test for both guys, really. I mean,
Yep.
especially for Melik Kuziev. But
And I think that would be a fan friendly fight from all indications.
yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
well, Kuziev is really he's a fast guy, he's a strongly built but guy, but also has got the reflexes and all that. So
Mm-hmm.
he's a very physically, strong fighter, to put it that
Yeah.
way. Yeah,
Yeah. That's a
athletic.
tough one. Who would you like in that contest? Melakuziev and David Morrell,
Um,
who is a boxer at the highest order from a
yeah,
skill
I
standpoint.
gotta lean more towards Morel, of course, because right now he looks, more. I mean, stronger simply on paper and all that, and
Yeah.
not just paper. But anyway, but I wouldn't say like it's just 100. It's not 100%. Fight for. I think Melkuzi could have a chance, but then he would
Yeah.
have to really do something special to win. I think really produce his greatest performance.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's not so tall, and yeah, and Morel is kind of tall, and that is also going to be difficult, I think, for him, for Mancusi. Yeah, but
Yeah.
also, I mean, Fox was very tall, also. But anyway, he's
Yeah.
not
True.
like
True.
David Morel for sure. Yeah,
Yeah. Yeah. I had to lean Morrell, who so far nobody's been able to bully him when he's been in there. And
yeah.
in his last contest, well, the contest before that, when he beat the guy who I believe was either from Kazakh, I think he was a Kazakh fighter. I think he was undefeated coming in, and he's one of those guys who was skilled and he had the
Oh
solid
yeah.
power and he was
What's his
aggressive.
name? That was
I
the
can't think of his
last
name either.
12th
Yeah,
round knockout. Oh, just
yeah,
a
and
second. I know.
that got brutal at points right there. So
It
this
will.
guy, the way Morrell broke him down, it got brutal
Yeah.
at points. So,
It, I can't
yeah.
remember it now, but it will come to me shortly. I'm sure. Oh yeah, Aidos Yerbosinui. That's his name.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that was a tough one right there, and he ended up having to go to the hospital afterwards as
Oh
well.
yeah, it was bad. I heard. Yeah, it was
Yeah,
very bad. Of
so
course,
David
last
Morrell,
round
man,
knockout. Yeah.
he's the real deal, and I guess he's
Mm.
at about 8 or 9 fights now, maybe 10, somewhere in there. So Beck has more fights than Morrell actually, but Morrell kind of just started super fast track himself, and yeah, he's going to be a force, and I think he's certainly one of the top three in the division between him, Canelo, and David Benavidez, and
Yeah.
you might favor Canelo over Morrell. You might favor Benavidez over Morrell, but I don't think it would be a long shot favorite as far as I'm concerned.
Mm.
So, yeah, him in versus Beck the Bully. Yeah, that would be a very interesting one right there. I do think it'll be
Yeah,
fan friendly and aggressive.
for sure. Yeah.
Salute to Rasclot 222 dropped in, said, "Sup, guys? Salute to both. Salute to you there, Rasclot, as well.
Salute.
Always good having you drop by for sure. for sure. Appreciate it. He's mentions David Morrell. Yeah, we were just talking to David Morrell
Yeah,
because of Beck the Bully beating Lantez Fox on the Ramirez Smith Jr. card. There was a co-feature, and yeah, he really kind of just dominated each round with some aggressive punching. Now Fox was able to slip in a few good shots here and there because he did cut the left eye of Melakusiev. I remember seeing that there at the tail end. So, and I remember distinctively him landing a pretty solid uppercut at one point that might have been what done the job as far as getting that eye cut. So but that being said, but Beck the Bully was never in any type of trouble, and he was pretty much dominant. So we'll see what's next for Beck the Bully. As far as the at 168 landscape, we did mention those names: Benavidez, Morel, Canelo. I mean, those are the top dogs there. So ideally, those are going to be individuals you want to take on. But that being said, that's probably not likely at all for him right now because we know Canelo just fought. And
not Canelo anyway.
yeah, certainly not Canelo, but he just fought, and David Benavidez is actually going to be fighting Demetrius Andrade at some point coming up, which should be a good fight. So that does leave David Morrell, who's out there. Maybe that could happen. Maybe, who knows though. But outside of that, of course, we know that as it relates to trying to get a belt, then you got to go through Canelo. Though Morrell might have some version of some type of belt, which tends to be the case in a lot of divisions. But for all the belts that matter, you got to go through Canelo Alvarez, who's undisputed at 168 right now. So that could dictate things as well because a guy like Morrell, of course, he wants that fight, and I mean, he might be in line for it to a certain degree, but we'll see. But very interesting mix there at 168 pounds. So Beck the Bully, he's someone, a name that we'll have to watch right there for sure. Your Bersinoli. Yeah. Good stuff there, boss. Rat Scott says Morrell too young. By the time he's ready for a big fight, Canelo will be retired and Benavidez will be fighting at heavyweight. Yeah, Benavidez. Yeah,
I don't think he will. Maybe a cruiserweight. I doubt he will go so far.
I think Morrell is ready there, Rat Scott. I think Morrell is ready. I mean, he's ready.
Yeah, he's ready.
Continue to fight and get better, but I think he's ready.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, he's proven it already. What is there to wait for?
Yeah, he has them a little bit on age. I don't know how much older he is or younger he is than Benavidez. That might be closer to the same age, him and Benavidez, that is. But that being said, hey, I think he's ready right there, Rasclot. They're gonna have to get him in there. He's running through the competition thus far, so I don't know. He's the name there at 168. Anything less than Benavidez and Canelo, then yeah, that does him a disservice somewhat. But you never know. But also, I think someone
maybe
no one mentioned it here, but I think Oscar De La Hoya, who this is actually a Golden Boy card, so. Oscar De La Hoya, I think he may have mentioned, or at least I saw on Twitter, mention of Beck the Bully versus Christian Mbili. Now, that would be an exciting one right there as well. Potential fight of the year candidate type fight.
Or also maybe Edgar Berlanga. Why not?
Oh, yeah, Edgar Berlanga is out there. That would
still
be
undefeated. Right,
yeah, still undefeated miraculously. Still undefeated.
Just.
Yeah. So that might be a good one right there. As a matter of fact, I wasn't thinking of that one, but Edgar Berlanga versus Beck the Bully. That would be a tough one right there for Berlanga. But Beck the Bully is a style that will play into Berlanga's strong suit, which at one point was knocking people out. So that'll play into his strong suit right there. At least we get to see if that power is light at this stage. So
yeah.
That's a good one right there. Hadn't heard that one, but you make a good point there, Boz. That might be one we need to clamor for right there. We'll get to see, and I think it's next step fight for both of them. So the winner of that would be like, okay, yeah, they took that step up
Yeah,
right
it
there.
will be a kind of realistic next fight, I think, for back to the bully because, of course, he can fight Morel, but that would also be kind of a big step up in
Yeah, it would be.
level. Yeah. So
Yeah, I feel so as well. That would be at this stage, but this would be a good, and Golden
mhm.
Boy, Match Room. Hey, they're both with the zone, so that seems
Yeah,
the network isn't going to be an issue. So
yeah, Eddie
they
Earner will
have
be rubbing his hands.
yeah, certainly. Rasclot says, I think Morel is too, but boxing politics will get in the way. Certainly that happens. Morel, he's PBC, so that throws a wrench in
Oh
there a
yeah.
little bit, being PBC, because then you have to factor in the network thing. So
Mhm.
interesting. Black Boxing says, imagine Boo Boo upsets Benavidez and throws the whole Canelo Benavidez plan off track. Now that would be one right there. That would be a wonder for boxing.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't think so. But who knows? I mean, you never know. I think Andre is just now probably even past his prime, past his best, and has spent too many years. Sorry.
Bless you.
Thanks. Too many years like hiding from the best competition. That's how it seems to me. Yeah,
Yeah.
avoiding like the toughest tasks, the toughest opponents he could have.
I like Andre, but yeah, I don't know. This is gonna be a tough
Yeah,
one right here.
and that's why you cannot understand why he has been, you know, like avoiding certain guys. He has the talent, he had everything. I mean, he had the skill, even everything. Like but yeah, some guys just don't want to face
Was he
all.
avoiding them, or were they avoiding him?
I don't. It seems like he was avoiding. I mean, I read just recently that he was supposed to face Mungia actually,
Oh
but
yeah.
he didn't want that, so he just vacated the title. The WBO
Oh
middleweight.
yeah.
Yeah,
Oh, I remember him vacating at 160. Yeah. Or
yeah.
I think they were
So
gonna. I thought that was in relation to Janabek. He might have had to face Janabek.
maybe it was him also, but I believe it was anyway. Yeah, maybe or I think it was Mungia, but anyway,
Okay.
doesn't matter. It's equally bad if it was
And,
Janibek.
yeah,
Yeah,
and Mangia's moved up now. So yeah, that is interesting.
yeah.
We'll see though what happens there. Andre super skilled, so we'll see how. I just don't like the prospect of what happens on the back end if
Yeah,
Andre starts to fade. That's when Benavidez is at his strongest
mm,
there in the back end, still coming forward. So
yeah,
it makes it tough. Rasclot, that's what I hope will happen, even though I don't like either one. I'd rather see Andre win than Mr. Can't Make Weight at the scale. Yeah. So Benavidez, yeah, he's like, hey, I'm
more
gonna
than
make it
it
for
is.
this Canelo fight. Benavidez is gonna make weight for Canelo. Rasclot says Berlinga versus Munguia is supposed to
Yeah, I don't
happen.
like. Yeah,
Mm,
sorry.
Berlinga unfortunately doesn't have any defense. It will not last with that style. Yeah, I'd favor Munguia over him. I'd like to see that one. Yeah, if they can make that one, certainly I'd like to see that as well. I
Yeah,
know that was mentioned. I don't know what stage it is at now, but Berlinga versus Munguia is another one, and I'd favor Munguia, who was in what I view as the fight of the year thus far with the
mm,
Revianchenko. So Munguia, man, he'll bring it. He'll bring it. We need to see more of Munguia. We need him in those fights like the
yeah, for
Derevianchenko fight.
sure. I mean, yeah, I mean, for sure, he's now what 43, 4-0, and who has
Yeah,
he fought? I mean, not that
and the
many
competition
really.
can't go backwards from here.
Yeah, but I was just gonna say about Benavides. I mean, seems like his ego has gotten to him ever since he started wearing those cornrows, Rose, all that. Think he talked too much, trash before the plant fight. Also, yeah,
Oh yeah. They were getting at it. They were getting
yeah,
at it for sure.
really,
Hey, Benavidez feeling himself.
yeah,
Uh, uh, Flack says, I'm not opposed to Canelo buffing up his resume with the win over Benavidez before his time is up. All right, got there. That's where your allegiance lies there, Flack. We
I
see.
mean,
We see.
Yeah, maybe if he lost, it would teach him something. I mean, Benavidez a lot of humility, but on the other side, I don't know if it would be better for box. I think it would be better for boxing if he beat Canelo. Frankly,
Oh yeah, that would be a game changer right there.
yeah,
Certainly a game changer and a
for
torch
sure.
passing there as far as 168 is concerned,
Mm,
and right around there. So that would be interesting. Salute to Rodolfo Rivera Jr. It said Salute had to stop by during his lunchtime. Also sends his regards to
hey,
Radspot. Be sure to check out Rodolfo Rivera Jr. out there, folks,
my
putting in work.
man.
Appreciate you dropping by, Rodolfo, as always.
Yeah,
Rascott
that's
says, "Oh yeah, me either, but I'm opposed to guys like Benavidez, who clearly is a light heavyweight fighting at 168 because he's not good enough for 175. I feel you there, Rascott. He's a big dude. He's a big dude. Uh,
yeah, yeah.
he'd be
He's a big
interesting at
dude, and
175, though. He would be interesting at
yeah,
175, I feel.
very, very, very interesting.
Some fights could be made there. Hey, you never know though. You never know. Rodolfo Rivera. Oh yeah. So Rascott says Canelo should fight the winner of Andre Benavidez before his knees go out on him. I think he's having knee problems. Oh yeah,
Mm,
I heard someone else mention that him standing up the entire time. Was that? I don't know if that was you guys or someone mentioned. Oh no, maybe that was Rodolfo mentioning. Yeah, he was standing up the entire time. Canelo during this last fight with Jermell Charlo in the
mm.
corner. He didn't sit, so it's interesting. Better be has one hell of a reason to stay away from 175. Good point there, Flack Boxing, but that will make a pretty excellent fight there. Flack Benavidez versus Better Biev at
Oh
175.
yeah,
Action
yeah.
packed.
If anybody can make better, we really like I mean, fight
Yeah.
really for his life. Let's call it that way. That's probably Benavidez. With his
Yeah.
aggression, his everything. I mean, his physical advantages as well.
Yeah, and maybe that happens at some point. We do know that Better Biev is going to be taking on Caleb Smith, I believe, in January.
Oh
So
yeah,
that should be a
really.
good fight right there.
Yeah, very. I'm really happy Callum is finally getting to a true
Yeah,
test. After the Canelo fight, he's been
yeah, yeah,
fighting
yeah.
just just random guys mostly.
Yep,
Yeah.
good to see him back in the mix for sure because Caleb, yeah, he's pretty solid. Despite that Canelo loss, he's a very good fighter. So I think he's going to
Mm,
test Benavidez. I don't know if it
yeah.
goes the distance, but I think it's going to be a good fight
Yeah,
overall.
but yeah. I think I'm glad that he's at 175. It's much better for him than 168.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Because I'd
He
imagine it'll
lost.
struggle.
Part of the reason why he looked so poor against Canelo, was that he was really struggling to make that weight. And yeah,
Hmm.
after that, he did move up right after that fight, so it makes sense.
Yeah, yeah. I think that factors in certainly to a degree there that weight aspect because he is a big dude. So we'll
Mm,
get to see. I
yeah,
think one of the best versions of him on this night when he takes on Caleb Smith or when he takes on Artur Beterbiev.
yeah,
Now on the zone card, want to mention, of course, the main event was Zurdo Ramirez taking on Joe Smith Jr. The two men put in a workmanlike performance that had some back and forth. It wasn't. It was a fight that was, I thought, a clear win for Ramirez, who ended up winning on the cards. As a matter of fact, I think all three judges had it 99-91. I had it 97-93 scoring on fight-score.com, which is Fight Night Scores, comprehensive way to score. And it was a fight with some back and forth. Both of the guys, I think I mentioned it. It was at 193 pounds, a cruiserweight contest.
yeah.
They had a catch weight of 193 pounds, but both guys
Hmm.
are big, solid guys. And we know stylistically, Joe Smith Jr. is one of those guys. He's not going to give you a ton of variety, but man, he's swinging like he's got sledgehammer for hands. And when it
Yeah,
lands, you can feel it. You can feel it as a viewer. And some of those I know Ramirez felt. But that being said, in the contest in itself, Ramirez, he boxed very well. He had some extra movement. Looks like he added a few things to his game. He had Malik Scott in this corner on this night, just overall, though, good fight, good solid fight with some good back and forth, and you had some pretty intense moments in there. What did you think overall of the performance of both men there, Boz?
Yeah, it was a good. I mean, good performance with by both guys. Of course, Ramirez was kind of doing more in that fight, and kind of established his jab and his with his reach and all that. I mean, he was dominating, but he also, I mean, Smith landed some good shots and shook him a couple of times, and really made it a fight, till the end as well. Of course, I cannot. I've only seen the highlights of each round, so I don't know. But yeah, to me it seems like probably Smith didn't win more than 3 rounds or something, and yeah, so
Yeah,
probably I was scoring like 97, 94. Yeah,
yeah,
no, 97, 93.
yeah, 93.
Mm,
Yeah, that's where I had it as well. Yeah, it was one of those type things. So both of these guys have chins. We know that Smith Jr. was stopped by Beterbiev in his last fight. And Smith
yeah,
Jr., he's had his jaw broken in a contest before. And I think he had it re-aggravated in another contest. I can't remember who it was. It might have been the Sullivan Barrera fight.
yeah,
Now,
yeah.
yeah.
Mm,
So Smith Jr., tough dude right there. This was his first fight in a
really,
year plus. So
he's
he's
a
coming off a
really
layoff. Yeah,
He's a
and
really strong guy, yeah, really strong and a puncher, of
yeah,
course. While Ramirez, isn't exactly a puncher at this weight, so that's what
yeah,
really separates them. He's more like a boxer who, you
yeah.
know, also at 175, he did stop, most of his opponents, but it was
Hmm.
like more due to, accumulation and, all that. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. That has been one of Ramirez's strong suit, even when he was at 168. He could box, but of course, he could throw a lot of punches, and he could
Yeah.
keep that up
Yeah.
in the later rounds as well. So that certainly
Yeah.
helped him. But yeah, never known as one of
Yeah.
these like knockout guys. Certainly not a one punch style knockout guy.
No, no, he just works hard and he's
Yeah,
got the ability, the skill and all that. Yeah,
yeah.
I
And
think
this was
he
the
was
case.
probably yes. The reason why he did so poorly against me all is probably all that stuff with the weight,
Yeah,
making the weight. Yeah, because he
yeah.
looked so poor in that fight. He barely threw a punch, So
Yeah, he easily walks around at 200 plus because he usually rehydrates to over 200 pounds
yeah,
in that day between
big
weigh
guy.
in and fight night. So he's
Yeah,
a big dude right here,
yeah.
and maybe this suits him a little better. Cruiserweight, some guys, you can see them going up, and you're like, okay, yeah, he might be a little bit small for the division. Not the case with him. Not the case with
No,
Joe Smith Jr. either, really, who is a big, solid guy himself
yeah.
overall. So both of them are pretty solid guys.
Yeah, it's only a shame. I would have liked to see Ramirez versus Callum Smith.
Yeah. We thought
Two
that would be
big
one that
guys.
would. We thought
Yeah,
that would happen at some point at 175, which
but
would have been a good one for sure.
yeah, but Callum really has the power as well. So
Yeah,
that would have been a dangerous fight for Zurdo. Bro, yeah, definitely.
yeah. That would have been a good one to have seen for sure. Uh, Rasclot says Smith Jr. has that old school construction worker strength. Yes, certainly,
Yeah,
certainly he is. He
he
does.
was, yeah, construction worker as far as I can
Yeah, just
understand.
naturally. I mean, yeah, one of my favorite knockouts of his is that knockout over Funfara. Nearly took his head off.
Oh yeah, yeah, from Farah.
That's
Yeah,
another.
first
Yeah,
round knockout. Yeah, that was.
yeah. So Smith Jr. He's a real deal. And in that fight, what it came down to was Ramirez did the better boxing, as you mentioned there, Boz, and he did
Yeah.
land some stuff cleanly. So Smith had a few cuts or whatever, and he landed a good body shot. I remember that had Smith in trouble. So, but Smith also landed a huge shot. I remember probably the fight of the night, the shot of the night in one of those later rounds, and I would say Ramirez took it well. He took it well, so he had the chin for sure on him. But it also just came down to just more of a workman-like performance over the workman with Ramirez, who threw more punches and ultimately landed more punches than Smith
Yeah.
Jr. And I remember visually seeing some of these punches that Smith Jr. he was missing, and I was like, man, if those things were land,
Oh
it
yeah.
would shake up some things. But he missed a good deal of them, so I got to give it to Ramirez on the defensive end. He seemed to improve a little bit,
Yeah,
especially
for
compared to
sure.
that Bivol fight.
Yeah, he's just this was just a boxer versus puncher, definitely. I mean, yeah. So yeah, Joe Smith just couldn't land enough on Ramirez, and yeah, had he done that, he would have probably stopped him.
Yeah,
Well, mm,
So certainly a potential there. So Smith Jr. said he's going to go back, think about some things. He may continue on. He said he's not going down to 175, so we'll expect to see him continue his
interesting.
thing
Yeah.
at cruiserweight. And I guess the same is expected of Ramirez, a fight that's thrown out there. Jay Opataya
Oh,
versus Zurdo Ramirez, which I think very good fight and will be an
very
aggressive fight. I want to
yeah,
see it.
yeah, very good fight. Both guys can box. Petaya is a strong guy. I mean, he can also punch, and yeah,
Mm-hmm.
just a very good recipe for a fight, you might
Hey,
say.
and it just so happens they both fight a week out from each other. So timing wise, it seems like it can certainly be done. Unless there are other obligations there for Opataya, who does have a title there at cruiserweight, but
Mm,
I wouldn't think so. He just came back from a long layoff, and both of these guys, if they could get something happening, they can be
mm.
right back in the mix there, right back in the ring. Dare I say December, even though that likely won't happen.
Yeah, I mean that division definitely needs more big names and
Yeah,
exciting fighters, cruiserweights. I mean, it's been really weakened since both Usyk and Garcia
yeah.
left, and some guys have also retired, I guess, and yeah.
Hmm.
I don't know what's going on with Dorticos and Briedis has, I
He
think,
seems
retired.
kind of semi-retired to me, Dorticos.
Yeah, he's kind of also, around 40, probably, I would say, by now.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. I'm not
And
sure
I
him, but
know,
there was mention of Breedis being at the fight between Opataya and Thompson.
yeah, yeah, he was there, but I don't know really what's going on his box track page. It says he's inactive, but maybe he's just taking a break.
Yeah, they do that at times, but so yeah, it's
Yeah.
been a year for him too. He's been out the same amount of time since that Opataya fight, right?
Mm, yeah. And I know Andrew Tabiti had moved up to heavyweight, but I think he's back. He was gonna get back, but I don't know if he's back to cruiserweight or what's going on.
Oh yeah,
Uh,
I certainly wouldn't view Tabiti as a live guy at heavyweight because I just don't think. While he's
yeah,
a big guy, by certain standards, I don't know if he's heavyweight big for sure.
no, 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 no. He's like 6'1", and yeah, just not a huge guy physically. I mean,
Yeah, and we saw that with Doricos when he fought Doricos. I think that was a perfect
yeah,
prime example of such.
he was really knocked the f out there.
Yeah, right. All right.
But
Right.
it
So
was a
yeah,
good fight before that. A good fight before, yeah. He wasn't
so
just
he has that one
nailed.
nod at heavyweight, but I don't know how
Mm,
realistic his prospects would be there at heavyweight. But cruiserweight seems doable. But hey, then there's Bridgerweight.
it
It's wide
seems
open.
he's got a fight coming up at actually late this month against some guy called Eustace Hui. And
Is this
he
to
is a
beat
heavyweight, so yeah, it means he's still kind of pushing for that heavyweight dream.
him? I'm not expecting him to make any real noise there, but I think he's with
Nah, he should.
Mayweather Promotions, or at least he's tied to them or PBC in some capacity. Um,
Hmm.
so we'll see. But yeah, I'm not expecting
So
any
that
major waves at heavyweight.
yeah, another guy who just suddenly left and was very promising cruiserweight, Kevin Lerena.
Oh yeah.
You know,
So what did he go to? Has he fought
to
in?
heavyweight.
Okay,
You know, the
heavyweight.
guy who fought Daniel Dubois. You know, that's the guy.
Okay,
Yeah,
yeah, yeah. So
guy
so he's
who.
at heavy. Yeah.
Yeah, he's now at heavyweight. He says since had one fight this year. Yeah, and
Okay.
won by decision. Yeah, right.
So interesting.
Against some guy. Yeah,
But yeah,
some
overall,
guy
cruiserweight
called.
still has some names.
Yeah, yeah. There's
So
of course. What's his name now? I forget. Oh yeah, those guys. You know, from UK and
yeah, Lawrence Okolie, Chris Billum Smith.
Coley, Bill Smith, Richard Yakpur.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, those
Reactor's
guys.
out there. Well,
Yeah,
yeah, you're right.
even though
So there's
they
still
say
some
he
names there.
didn't. They say he could have had this fight against Opetaya, but he didn't want. He said no to turn it down. I don't know why he
Reactor.
was. Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
interesting.
weird. Yeah,
Yeah, that is interesting.
just
That is
wasn't ready,
interesting.
I guess. Let's
Yeah, I
see.
guess hey, that's an
Yeah,
opportunity right there for a title. Surprising that he would pass that up. Fairly surprising.
I mean, yeah, this is just ridiculous. Boxer just immediately has Gilberto Ramirez at number one in the cruiserweight rankings. How
That's
ridiculous
pretty,
is that?
hey, that is pretty crazy. I
Oh
guess
yeah,
he's more
that's
of a
right.
known
There's the
commodity.
French. Yeah, that guy Goulamirian. Yeah, he's still out there. Arsene
Hmm.
Goulamirian, the WBA champion.
Okay, I need
He's
to check
good.
him out because I don't remember if I saw him or not. Uh,
Yeah, he's pretty. He seems pretty good. I mean, but I don't know really how good he is. He hasn't fought anybody famous, but yeah,
okay. So yeah, I mean, yeah, there's some names there for sure. So hey, Ramirez will have some options, and I guess
yeah,
I think some of these
and
guys will take it, especially in the cruiserweight division, to have a
mm,
bigger name on the resume.
mm.
So I
And
think they'll
next,
be effective. With such.
yeah, I saw that next week is a really interesting fight at 160. Do you know what I'm talking about?
160. Who's going
Johnny
down
Beck
next week?
is Johnny Beck
Oh
is
yeah,
fighting in a unification fight against this new guy who just won the
yeah.
IBF title. Actually, yeah.
All right. Janabek
Well,
Alam Kanale.
yeah, he's fighting this guy Vincenzo Gualtieri. His name is.
Oh
He's
yeah,
an Italian
Gualtieri.
in Germany. Yeah.
Oh, German. So
So he
IBF
just
and
won.
WBO world title on the line.
Yeah, yeah. Gualtieri he holds the IBF title right now.
Okay, so yeah, I see he's 21-0
Yeah, I was
with
like, who
one
the hell
draw.
is this? Suddenly he's the IBF champion. What the hell?
Yeah. He's 29. Janabek 30, 6 foot for Janabek,
Not a
5'10" for.
puncher. Not a puncher. Gualtieri isn't a puncher. Seven
Mm,
knockouts only, I believe. Yeah.
okay. Yeah, so this should be interesting. So this is going down in
In Germany, I believe.
no, it's here in the US. Fort Bend Community Center,
In the
Rosenberg.
US. Oh no, no
Yeah,
way, man.
somewhere.
Come on. Really? Wow,
I
I
don't even
didn't
know where
see
this
that.
Fort Bend. I guess that's Indiana. Uh, well, there's a Bend, Indiana. I don't know. Let me see. Fort
Indiana.
Bend
Wow.
Community. Where's Fort Bend? Let me see what this is.
I've never heard of it really.
Yeah, me the Fort Bend Community Center.
Sport band. Well, that's anyway. It's an
Oh, this is Texas.
rather interesting fight.
So it's Rosenberg, Texas. I was like, I haven't
Hmm.
heard of this place. So yeah, so it's in Texas actually.
I don't
So it's
know
going
why I
down.
thought it was in Germany. I guess I saw something, but I don't know,
Yeah,
really
so it's a
some
little seems like a little
misinformation.
small town in Texas. We'll see what the turnout's like.
Hmm.
Not one I've heard of, so they probably don't get big time fights
Yeah.
often. And this is, I guess, big time enough to be of note. So maybe they'll have a pretty solid turnout overall. Um,
Hmm. I hope so. Well, anyway, Johnny Beck, he is very, I guess he's rather popular because he's a knockout guy and
Yeah,
a puncher and all
yeah,
that.
we're looking forward. Yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing how he looks. He gets back in the ring. I'd imagine he wants to stay active. He been looking to
Mm,
stamp his name
yeah,
amongst the title reign, so he has a chance to really be the guy at 160 if he can get
yeah.
everyone in and snatch up all of those belts.
I think it's probably between him and Carlos Adames. They are the
Oh yeah,
strongest fighters at 160 right now,
that
definitely.
would be a nice one,
And
Janabek
now,
Adamas, if it happens.
yeah, because Eubank, he's always, you don't know where he's gonna be next, which weight he's gonna be fighting.
Oh yeah,
Now this
yeah,
Conor
certainly.
Ben fight, what the heck is that going on again with that nonsense? Come on.
Yeah, yeah. Hey, he seems to want it. At this point, freaking even Eubank wants it, so maybe it
his
does
father will
happen.
be His father is surely appalled again. He's
Yeah.
really he
So
was very against that fight.
my partner,
Yeah.
she pointed out the fact that he wasn't at his last contest. Eubank Senior, he wasn't there for the
Oh
Liam
yeah,
Smith
right.
contest, and which is
Interesting.
odd, right? It is
Probably
pretty
been
odd.
some kind of falling out, I guess, between them.
Yeah, maybe they're having some little issue because I know that
Yeah. It wouldn't be the first time in boxing
yeah,
history.
certainly.
Yeah.
Certainly, that tends to happen. But yeah, he wasn't there. His sister was there, so it's like surprise. Where's father? Because I know they would have showed him on screen, and they never showed him.
Yeah, while Nigel Benn is always with his son, seems to
Yeah,
have a more like just a more less complicated anyway
yeah,
relationship.
yeah,
Probably.
yeah. Certainly. But yeah, that'll be interesting if they make that happen. I did catch Connor being in that last contest, and I thought he did well. He was, I
Yeah, it
don't,
was.
this was at 154. I don't, he looked pretty
Yeah.
small compared to the guy he was in with, so I don't know how sustainable 154 or even moving up is for him because he seemed pretty
Mm,
small by comparison. But that may have just been a big
mm.
guy.
Yeah, that's right. I mean, Conor Ben is like I don't think he's like more than 5'8" or something, but he's got he's a strong guy. Definitely, he can punch. Also, we have seen and he knocked out Algieri and what's his name, Chris Van Herden. Yeah.
Yeah,
Mm.
yeah. So it will be
And
interesting.
now this
It will
whole
be interesting.
controversy is really tainted his image, and
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah, it has.
I'm
But
not
hey, he said
really.
his name is cleared.
Yeah,
They
well, no, I'm
cleared his
not
name.
really. I don't know.
His
I
name
just
is
think
cleared.
that he is kind of playing a little too much, or he has bought too much into that, you know, image of same as his father once, Dark Destroyer, that stuff,
Yeah,
you know,
yeah,
and that
yeah.
can be dangerous, that can be dangerous, really.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah, I have no doubt. I have no
Mm,
doubts it can be.
mm.
Certainly something to keep in mind. But yeah,
His
we'll
his
see.
brother definitely looks kind of more at peace. His half brother Harley, who also fights as well.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, as
Yeah.
well. I
No, you're
think
right
he's like,
there.
yeah, I think he's a middleweight or something. Yeah.
Oh yeah, yeah, Harlem. Yeah, I've seen that he's had some fights. I can't remember if I really seen him, paid attention to him like that. But yeah, we'll see how he continues to develop. But yeah, hey,
Mm.
interesting stuff with boxing, the family aspect for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now,
Families.
yeah, it's interesting. I was going to mention the co-main event features Keyshawn Davis against Nahir Albright. Albright 16-2. Davis, of course, 9-0. Highly touted prospect, uh, Olympian, silver medalist, decorated amateur, etc. So he's going to be the taking on Albright in the co-feature of the Olive Cannoli Golteri contest.
Mm.
So
Right.
he looks to have the goods there at lightweight thus far. I want to see how he continues to develop, but he's already got a win over Anthony Yigit, who was
Yeah,
fought
he.
for a world title. So
Hmm.
that I think that's pretty solid. So we'll see how Keyshawn continues to develop, and maybe we get to see him against Kid Austin at some point. Um,
Hmm.
can't think of the dude's name, but this other young prospect, like graduating from that stage sort of fighter. So that is going to be taking place. Let me see. There's also a card on Wednesday in Germany, actually, or no, Montreal, Canada. Headlined by two females, Hermans
Oh
and
yeah.
Spencer, Canadian. And this
Hmm.
Ronald Ellis is
But
going to be
there's a big
fighting.
fight. Well, on Sunday this weekend, there's a big fight in Australia. There's also, actually, as far as I could see, is
Oh
it?
yeah,
No, I think Team 2 versus Brian Mendoza. I believe
oh
that's
yeah,
this
going
Sunday.
down.
Yeah,
Good stuff.
wow, what a
Yeah, I'm
fight.
looking forward to that one. That should be a good contest right there.
Yeah.
Mendoza, hey, when he puts his punches together, he can do some damage, as we know. So that should be interesting right there. Tim
Yeah.
Zhu, arguably the second best at 154
Hmm.
pounds. Some would probably say the best. We just need to see him in that
Certainly
contest with
looks,
Jamel Charlo.
yeah, he certainly is right now. Looks the second, at least second best at 154. Yeah.
Oh yeah, certainly, certainly. Rasclot says Conor Bean should fight better comp before trying to act like his dad. Yeah,
Yeah.
certainly. You got to continue to step that up.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, I mean, he so far he's fought washed up former contenders, and yeah,
Yeah,
that's nothing to brag about, really.
yeah. It's interesting. Very much interesting.
Hmm.
So yeah, but no, there's a good week, good cards this weekend, or this weekend coming up, and then on Wednesday, yeah, I mentioned that one contest. Looks like that's happening. Then Thursday, there's a fight in Japan. So I know it's going to be early, but this is the 12th. This is John Riel Casemiro is going to be taking on Yoshihiro Uguni. That's going to be at Super Bantam. Riel Casemiro looking to get back in the mix and hopefully get a contest with
Nice.
Inoue at some point.
That would be really
Then, yeah, it'll be
exciting.
interesting. Yeah, they've been
Yeah,
talking about it.
I don't know really how much Casimiro has left in his tank, but he's a puncher, so he's always potentially dangerous. So
Yeah,
I kind of like him as a fighter.
yeah, indeed. Yeah, he is very solid. So we'll see how he
Yeah,
does here. Taking on Oguni. I think Oguni, let me see, is he undefeated or not? Oh, he's 21, 2-2. So
he just has
um
this Filipino kind of style, kind of destroyer kind of aura about him,
oh,
like
yeah.
Manny Pacquiao and guys like that.
Yeah, he
Those
does.
guys. Yeah,
He does. So he's an exciting fighter. He's typically an
yeah,
exciting
very.
fighter. So it's going down at Ariake Arena in Japan. Now, also Vince Paras, who we had on the channel previously. Vince Paras, he's going to be fighting Kai Ishizawa, actually, Kai Ishizawa. This is going to be a flyweight contest. The winner potentially, I think it's an eliminator for one of the titles, but this should be an exciting fight as well. Kai Ishizawa and Vince Paras, who's going to be rocking some trunks. Salute to Skywalker Boxing. He's going to have varying logos on there, including the 86 Boxing logo. So salute there. Vince Paras. Going to be looking forward to it. So October 12th, but it's going to be early here when it's on. So imagine early there where you're at too, Boz. So yeah, the timing is going to be
Yeah,
interesting. But certainly it's one that should be an exciting card just in general going down in Japan.
yeah, nice.
And then that Sunday you have also, or that Saturday you have your guy Tommy Fury taking on KSI.
Not my guy, for sure. Yeah, I hope he gets knocked out. Fury. I mean, at least one of them should get knocked out because they've been just talking and talking trash and
Yeah.
big mouths.
Yeah, so it's funny. But then you also have in Mexico, Merida, Mexico, Miguel Burchelt. Looks like he's not done
Oh
yet,
yeah,
folks.
right. That's
He's
right.
not done. He's going to be
Fighting
fighting.
some Argentinian. Yeah, I saw that.
Yeah. Then Rene Alvarado, who's solid. He's going to be taking on
Mm.
Lardis Zavo. I don't know him. So that should be interesting. So, yeah, interesting stuff coming up. Some interesting
Mm.
contests. So, hey, we'll
Good,
be on
good.
the lookout.
Yeah, good.
We'll be on the
Really good.
lookout. But yeah, that's all that's happening,
Yeah,
and I'm
October
sure we'll
is
dive into more in the
the
next week.
last 3. I don't know why, but always traditionally the last 3 months of the year have traditionally been full of good boxing, matches. Always, for
Oh
some
yeah, yeah,
reason.
yeah, certainly,
Yeah.
certainly. And then I'll just note, and we'll discuss it maybe next time around. Looks like Boatsi is going to be taking on Aziz,
Oh,
two
really?
undefeated fighters, both under the boxer
That's
banner,
a
if I'm
good
not
one.
mistaken.
Yeah, that's a
Yeah,
pretty even match, I guess. Yeah.
yeah.
Watts
So
he does have more experience, but he's
yeah,
hardly like I don't know, Calvin Smith caliber
yeah, right,
fighter.
right.
Yeah.
We'll certainly dive into
Calvin
that a
Smith
bit more.
would probably, KTFO him
Yeah,
in
so
like
it should be
three,
interesting.
4 rounds, probably.
Yeah, well. So, but Rasclot says Burchelt took too much punishment. Certainly, his punch
Yeah,
resistance seems to be gone from all indications. But we'll see how he looks in it. If he loses this one, especially via stoppage, then yeah, he needs to hang him up for real. Hang him up for real because that's one thing that when your punch resistance
yeah,
is
he was.
gone, yeah, it really gets dangerous.
Yeah, it's a shame. I really liked him. I mean, his fighting style is so exciting. Really just a guy who
Hmm.
throws a lot of bombs. He's a solid puncher and just a very exciting, a warrior type fighter, of course. Yeah,
Yeah,
but that loss to Valdez really marked him badly. I mean, really
yeah,
put him on a downwards spiral. Yeah,
yeah.
definitely.
And you never know how one's going to react to a punch, or getting
Yeah,
knocked out for the first time.
yeah, and kind of late in the fight also.
Yeah, yeah, certainly one
Mm,
of those things of note. But cool, there it is, folks. I mean, that's all of the information we have here today, at least for coverage. But that most certainly isn't it overall, because we will be back in the mix surely here next week. As a matter of fact, do I have anything next week? Yeah, yeah, we should be good to
it's
go next week.
this week. Well, anyway,
Yeah, or this week. Yeah.
the end of this week, I think it will be probably.
Guess you can say end of. Yeah, you're right, because it is not
Yeah,
Sunday right now. It's a Monday. It's a
Monday.
Monday edition. So yeah, everyone enjoy your weekend, of course, or the end to the weekend for those here, because many people are off because it's a holiday today.
Right.
So
Yeah.
it's like
Yeah.
extended in some sense. So
Mm,
everyone enjoy. Have a good time out there. Stay safe.
yeah.
We'll be back in the mix. Appreciate all you dropping in. Salute to you there, Flack, Rasclot, Rodolfo, who are still in the mix here. We will be back at this thing coming soon. In the meantime, stay safe, my friends. Stay safe.